Thank you for choosing Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. I have some very special guests with me, but know as we're gearing up for back to school, I know I have some happy parents right now who are happy to get their home back and their refrigerator back. I know I am so excited about getting mine back. Kiddos are eating me out of house and home. At any rate, I hope that everyone is excited about the new school year. I pray blessings over those not only in primary and secondary, but those who are pursuing higher education, all of the kiddos that are now going off to college, and even some of our adults that are enrolling in school. Hope that everyone has a blessed and prosperous school year as we embark on our educational journey. Now, I have some very special guests with me. They are out of Austin, Texas, but they are going to be servicing the Bell County area. And when I saw one of the gentlemen that we're actually interviewing today, we're friends on Facebook, and he had inboxed me about something that he had going on. And one of the things that really stuck out to me was the fact that he was talking about human trafficking. As many of you may know or have heard before, that this is definitely a problem, and it is something that is growing. And so I'm really, really excited about this particular event that is happening on November 11th. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, talk a little bit about the organization, and then go into why they're doing it and different things like that. So, listeners, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Chris Collins and Mr. D.T. Collins. Guys, you go ahead and talk a little bit about yourselves and a little bit about the organization.
Go ahead, D. Hello, I'm D.T. Collins. I'm actually in Waco, Texas, from Temple, and I'm a part of NeBoe. We started off as NeBoe Unlimited and evolved into NeBoe, the NeBoe Connection. And we basically saw a need in our area, so we put our heads together and came up with what's going on now with the step show that's coming up and everything that we're involved in.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. So tell me a little bit, what is NeBoe for our listeners that have never heard of it?
NeBoe stands for the N-E of the word came from the Bible, Nehemiah, and the B-O-E is the book of Esther. And together we put those together to form NeBoe. Okay,
and what's the story behind that exactly?
And it started off as a marketing company, online marketing, and we found out that all parties involved had certain goals in mind concerning the public and the homeless, the domestic violence, and all that kind of stuff, and we put our heads together and came up with what we have now, which is NeBoe Connection.
Absolutely. Okay, that's awesome. So y'all started off as a business, and then you found out that you guys had a heart for the community, so you decided to switch gears and do more of a nonprofit or more of an organization. Is that what you're saying? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you lost the signal or not. But yes, that's what happened. It started out as a business that was going to be trying to do like real estate and stuff like that. And got to talking and realized that there was a major need for different things in the Bell County area that they don't have no idea how to connect to. And so,
what are some of those needs?
There's not too many really good domestic violence shelters there.
Okay.
That's one of the major things. Women or even men who have situations where they're in a bad situation and they can't get out and they don't have nowhere to go. So we want to try to
raise the money and get everything going, so we can be able to purchase a spot there in Temple to be able to house parents who's going through the domestic violence and things like that. There's going to be counseling, therapists, drug counseling, anything, and we're going to be trying to connect with all the different churches in the Central Texas area to help get NeBoe inside the churches, because, like I say, a lot of people don't like to go down to the Health and Human Services Department, which
right.
I put in 25 years, so I know the feeling of folks not wanting to go to the Health and Human Services Department, because sometimes you leave there feeling worse than you did when you got there.
Right.
So NeBoe is going to be that go-to organization that's going to be the go-between between Health and Human Services to be able to help get some of the same things that they're offering, but try to do it with less stress.
Okay, well, that's awesome. I mean, you know, I can definitely understand where you're coming from, where you say, you know, sometimes you come in and go into those places and, you know, you sometimes feel like cattle being herded in and out and,
yep,
you know,
exactly.
Give me information or whatever. There's not a lot, but, you know, a lot of times it's just because, you know, people, they do it every day. They kind of get desensitized to the situation. They're not really looking at the individual needs. They're just looking at trying to get it done and over with quickly. And that's not always the best way. So that's great that you guys are trying to offer similar services for people in that area of Temple. I know that there's a new domestic violence shelter, Lolita Gilmore. She actually has opened it up in the Killeen area. So it's
right.
great to hear that you guys are trying to open one up in the Temple area.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Ms. Gilmore is connected with NeBoe.
Okay.
From talking to our director. So, it's like I said, it's going to try to cover the whole Central Texas area. But I believe Ms. Gilmore, if I'm not mistaken, she is connected with our director.
Awesome. Well, that's good, because it's always so good to you know, to work together and not separate.
Exactly.
So that's great. I love that. So let's talk about human trafficking. This particular event that you're doing, you were saying that you want to stomp out human trafficking. What do you mean? What is human trafficking for some of our listeners? And if you are just tuned in, you are tuned in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold. Today I'm sitting down with Christopher Collins and DT Collins, who are both affiliated with the organization NeBoe. It is an organization that has come to help the area, particularly Temple, with domestic violence, counseling, and different things like that. The thing that stuck out to me the most when speaking with them is the event that they're going to be having called the Stompout Human Trafficking Step Show. So I want to find out, for some of our listeners who may not know, what exactly is human trafficking?
And where do I begin? It's one of the worst crimes out there next to drug dealing. Okay. They're taking your kids, kidnapping your kids, they're kidnapping your wives, your sons, and putting them out there, making them trick. And if anybody know what trick is, putting them out there, making them prostitutes on the streets and selling their bodies for little or nothing. And it's really just, oh my God.
Is this prevalent in the Bell County area?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Can you give me some statistics or give me a little more info on that? Because that's scary to me. That's something that you think about in the movies. You don't think about your kids being sold and kidnapped. Like, oh my gosh. Like, so I want to.
This last week, they did a big sweep of 72 men who were involved in that.
Wait a minute.
Type of crime.
Where?
Huh?
Wait. Hold up.
In the McLennan and Bell County.
In McLennan and Bell County, they did a sweep of 72 men that were involved
72 men that was involved with prostitution and trafficking of young girls, young boys. I mean, it was a big sting. Yeah, it's a big sting.
That just made my whole heart drop.
This is something that's really, you know, they report on it, but they don't report on it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because nobody wants to talk about the fact that little children and young teenagers are being trafficked.
Right.
It's crazy because, you watch some of the, like CNN and a lot of the big news stations, and they talk about these things that are going on, but they're in like other states. You don't ever think to yourself, like, this is so close to home. This really make my heart drop. So how are they getting these kids?
Easy. They go to the parks. They go to the rec centers. They catch them coming from school. They catch them at the mall. Oh man, they just like how they offer kids back in the day when they was kidnapping kids. Offering them candy, offering them rides. Some kids are so naive that they'll befriend somebody online, and next thing you know, they go and meet up with that person, and before you know it, they're caught. They're missing, and it has happened too many times. And so we, as an organization, want to stand in the gap and then put a stop to it.
Wow. So you said you had over 25 years experience or 20 years experience. What were you referring
Health and Human Services.
You work for Health and Human Services. Oh, wow.
Yes. I've done everything from working at the food stamps office to child and protective services or adult protective services. I've been around the way the last 25 years. I've seen it all, and I've done it all.
Wow. Well, that's great that you have that type of experience that you can bring to the organization.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
How is this event going to help stomp out human trafficking?
It's because, for one, we're getting the word out.
Yeah.
Getting the word out, and we're letting a lot more people know that what's going on, that they need to keep their eyes out. Let's talk about it. Let's not see. The problem in our community is we don't talk enough.
Right.
We tend to look the other way. Or we don't talk about it until it's our child. Then we want the whole world to know about it. No, we need to talk about it from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. And, I think a lot of times that people don't talk about it because they don't even know that it's going on.
Right.
I mean, the media, I have to say, they haven't done a really good job of promoting or talking about this. This should be something that should be on, like, you should be hearing about all the time.
They'll maybe do a little 2-3 minute segment and move on. They don't stress the importance of check your kids' Facebook account, check your kids' Instagram account, check your kids' Snapchat account. I'm sorry, I'm old school. If you gonna have any of that social media stuff, I gotta have your password.
Absolutely.
Because I want to know what's going on with my child at all times. Well, you invade my privacy. You want privacy? Get a job, move out.
Right.
Take care of your own self. As long as I'm taking care of you, I gotta know what's going on with you at all times because too much is happening nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, that hurts my heart. Oh, man.
And I'm telling you, that's what normally happens with the kids. That's how they get caught up on these the social medias. These little nasty, I want to call them nasty men or nasty women. They'll convince the kid to meet them somewhere, and next thing you know is the kid done got catfished and got in over their head and don't know how to get out.
Yeah. Wow. That's oh, okay. That just really that's a lot. Oh, yes. Man. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a short break and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit more about NeBoe. We're gonna talk a little bit more about human trafficking, and we're gonna talk a little bit, of course, about the event that's gonna be coming up on November 11th. So give us just one moment. Thank you for tuning in to Sundays at the Square. We'll be right back.